All right, back again by popular demand. It is Avon. How are we doing today, Avon?
I'm doing all right, man. Feeling good. It's a bit chilly out.
It's really cold out. I came out here to set things up, and I had to put on my sweatshirt because it was really, really cold. I put on the quarter zip because I couldn't find any hoodies. I couldn't find my special Whoopie hoodie. I don't know where it is.
Nothing wrong with the quarter zip, man. That's actually popular nowadays. The young boys are wearing the quarter zips.
So I don't know what. Okay, this is unintentional. Was not planned on the thing. I've been seeing reels about this on Instagram. People freaking out about the quarter zip, and I remember when I was a kid, the thing that was popular were hoodies, and I came to school wearing a like hand-me-down sweatshirt, no hood, and I got relentlessly bullied. I think I got my ass beat that day.
Oh man!
And I went and I was like, Mom, I need a hoodie. And she was like, a hoodie? Do you know why they're called hoodies? Because hoodlums wear them. Are you trying to dress like a criminal? So I pled my case to my dad, and my old man was like, whatever. And it was his old college football team's sweatshirt or sweater that I was wearing. And he, for Christmas, got me an updated version that had a hood. My mom went absolutely fucking crazy. And my dad was just like, there you go. Now you're going to get your ass beat at school. Of course, everybody did ask, what is Fairmont State fighting Falcons? What the? That's stupid. And I got picked on anyways. Yeah. But at least I had a hoodie and I didn't look like a square. What's up with the quarter zip now?
So supposedly the young boys find the hoodies to be a bit aggressive, right? As your mother stated, the hoodlums wear the hoodies. So now I guess the young boys aren't in their sophisticated stages, and they're finding the quarter zips to be more sophisticated. That is it. I don't know. It's their time. I let them do what they do. I stay out the way. I wear all. Like I wear hoodies, I wear quarter zips, whatever.
Oh, I've seen you wear some very elegant quarter zips at work.
Yes.
Yeah. But the day you come in with like a weird sweater vest type thing on, I'm gonna question it. I think that's too far. If they start trying to tell us to wear like the sweater vest, get out.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
I think that's going to be next.
Fuck.
I'm telling you. I think that's going because it goes in stages, right? It always goes in stages. It's gonna go quarter zips to V-necks to eventually the vest.
Well, because I saw what's been coming back is the old 1920s Kangol hats.
Yes.
And I have a couple that I wore. I was in quarter zips before quarter zips came back to be a trend, okay? Because I don't own a lot of nice shirts and stuff, and this precludes me from having to, like if I go to church, I just go to church in a quarter zip with a t-shirt underneath. No one's the wiser, and I don't get bitched at by, at the time, whatever girlfriend I have or like my parents about dressing nice. I just wear my quarter zip, take the quarter zip off. Now I look like a regular Joe on the street.
Correct.
We're all good. But my grandfather, he used to wear like the old Kangol hats.
Yeah. And
so we were up in the Highlands, North Carolina, not Scotland. I don't have that money. And we walked by a hat shop, and I can't remember if my wife saw it in the window or what, but for some reason she was drawn to go in there, and she found this Kangol hat, put it on. I happened to be wearing a tan jacket that day, and she was like, "Oh, you have to get this." She's obsessed with it. So like a little bit of money later, I had these. I love wearing them, but then I saw everybody started wearing them again. I'm like, no, I'm watching young people wear the Kangol hats again. I'm like, stop stealing my style.
Look, either you're the trendsetter or by coincidence you're just falling in line with the fashion. That's it.
I think by coincidence I'm falling in line with the fashion, or the only other thing is that it's like the Truman Show. But instead of just one of us being in here, I think that there's like, for every 100 people, there's like 10,000 actors, and the rest of everybody else is not real. Everybody goes home. They have families. They leave the set. They go home. They have families, and they get paid to be on the show while the rest of the world watches. While the I don't know, 100 people that I interact with. I don't know. You might not be. You might not be. Like
real?
Yeah, you might
not be a paid actor.
You might be a paid actor. Avon might be a paid actor.
I mean, do we want to go down this rabbit hole?
Absolutely. 100%. It could be a simulation.
Everything could be a simulation, right? But what would you call these streamers nowadays? Because they're kind of modern day Truman shows.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Right?
It's a simulation.
Like, yeah. So everybody knows what they're doing. What's the next thing they plan on doing? Like, we know everything about these average Joes, which are actually the new celebrities all of a sudden, right? So
I was just thinking about that the other day.
yeah, like, I mean, they're more popular than most of these Hollywood superstars, right? So yeah, it could be Truman Show based, or yeah, we can be the Truman Show for ourselves, but aliens are watching us or some shit.
I think that I don't know. I don't know if I think the aliens are observing, and I think they're observing as because strangely enough, the thing that pops up the most on my feed right now, and it pops up bizarrely out of nowhere, is the scene where Tom Cruise is confronted by the Eyes Wide Shut secret society when they all have the masks and they threaten him.
All right.
And then the ending scene where the last word spoken in a Stanley Kubrick film is fuck. So, and the conspiracy theory on that the ending was them like succumbing to the lizard people cult, the pedophilic lizard people cult, and they were giving away their daughter. And the boomers are in there saying, no, that's not what the movie is saying, this and that. And I'm like, starting to watch it, and I have to sit down and I have to watch the whole thing. And it's a very interesting take on, like, I remember 10 years ago, you talking about the shadow government and the powerful people that you didn't know about,
right,
who control the government, who control the world. People sat there and like, oh, you're crazy. And then
now
5 years ago,
7 families.
You're sitting there, and it's like when Trump the very first time went on TV and was like, "You shouldn't hate me. You should not hate Hillary. There's people you don't know the names of. They control the world, and they're dodging their taxes. I'm dodging my taxes, but I use the system. Everybody else is doing it."
Yep.
And I think that there is, because there's times. When I scroll, you're talking about the social media,
right?
Where if I scroll off of a car video, I'll get about 5-6 hits of car videos in a row.
And that's how the algos work nowadays. It's like if you keep your attention on something for more than 2 seconds, as soon as you scroll down, you'll see that very same story or item or whatever it is.
But I think they're pushing now too. I think they're pushing because the scary part is, and you can see it every once in a while, and especially when I was overseas and I had a VPN set up, you get a little broader stuff. Like when I was in Iraq, I got a lot of jihad videos.
Ooh.
Lots of jihad videos. And I got a lot of IRA videos from the Irish Republican Army. That were pumping into my feed if I didn't have my VPN all the way set up. And as I'm scrolling, I'll go past the 6 car video and it's something random. And I go a little bit further and then it's something degenerate. And the wife was sitting there watching me scroll because sometimes she likes to see the car stuff, and sometimes I do have funny cat videos on there sometimes.
Right.
And I'm scrolling and we were talking about something and it popped up. Oh, we're talking about German Shepherds, and it popped up, and then there was another one, and another one. And she goes, do you think they're listening? I go, absolutely, watch this. And I go, gee, I wish I had more half-naked women on my Instagram page. And now, mind you, I hadn't gotten a hit for anything degenerate. Like, I sit there, and I will, on those, I'll physically put not interested to try and fight the algo, and then I'll sit there and I'll like for all the car videos. I said that about 6 times. It took a second. 12 scrolls down.
Started
half-naked chick.
Yep.
3 more. Goth half-naked chick. I started to get more specific. I went, wow, I really want to see the IHOP goth mommies half-naked chicks on Instagram.
Right.
Scrolling up and down, all goth chicks. Like 6 in a fucking row. And the wife was like, I'm deleting all my social media. Like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, You're not the only one that feel that way, right? As far as deleting your social media, but also with saying certain things out loud and then seeing it on the social media network. But I could give you one even better. There's been many times where I would just think something that has never been even thought about in a long time. And then all of a sudden, it pops up in reality. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, the other day I was watching a movie.
Like in the physical or on
in the physical?
Okay.
In physical. Like, I recall there was a movie I haven't seen in quite some time, right? I watched the movie, and there was a famous quote from the movie, right? Now, this example, it wasn't social media, but keep in mind, I'm watching the movie. So I'm done watching the movie. I was like, okay, interesting quote. I go online. I'm reading. I was on the YouTubes, right? I'm reading the comments. Someone just said the quote. Had nothing to do with the movie, nothing at all. The thing that was being watched on YouTube. And I notice that all the time. And I don't know, it's because I'm just more in tune, but it always happens that way. Like, I would think about new tires. Next thing you know, new tire ads popping up. I'm just thinking about it. I'm not even saying it out loud. Nothing like that.
So it could be, and that's something I've noticed too.
It could be frequencies, or I don't know. Like, because I don't want to get in debt.
So I don't know about that yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if the technology is there for
that
that
advanced.
Yet.
Yeah. Telepathy.
Unless there is something that we definitely don't know about, which that would be extremely, because they talk sometimes about it's the gravitic propulsion one that always comes up, is that we have propulsion devices for aircraft that defy conventional means of flying.
Correct.
I would have to look more into the and then also the giant Jewish space lasers things that destroyed Hawaii.
Right.
But I haven't heard too much about any kind of. I know we have certain types of sonic weapons because when I was in the National Guard, we had like sonic disruptors, and they were very much. People joke that we had like the brown note weapon. It was a certain frequency that would just make you shit your pants. And people used to refer to that as like the I can't remember what we call it, but like the pants shitter or something like that. And but it was a weapon that it was a non-lethal. The frequencies that it could emit were very unpleasant, and it would make you immediately stop doing whatever you were doing. If you were in the middle of committed to making love to the hottest woman you could possibly, like your day was fucking ruined by this thing. Nothing was keeping you. And I never got to see them in action, but I did get to see them, and I know that we have them as public knowledge.
Yeah.
But as far as being able to read your mind, I don't know. But I will say there's times where I've been on where it makes it seem that way, especially when the service light in my wife's car went on. And I started getting ads for oil. But I'm not getting ads for Royal Purple or Amsoil that I use in my cars.
Right.
I'm getting like fucking Mobil 1 shit oil ads.
Yes.
I'm getting shit ass spark plug ads, not the NGKs that I use in my cars. So I wonder if there are, they may not have to read our minds.
Right.
When we've got this, as Black Mirror says, the little black box sitting in our pocket.
Right.
Maybe that is I think these things know more about us than we know about ourselves sometimes.
I would have to agree with you. I think so too, because it's all research, right? Like, it's researching what we like, what we care about, what we don't care about. It's all there. So, and they have this data. So of course it knows more about ourselves than we do.
And they're collecting.
Of course, they're collecting, but why? Right? Because if it's all about us just purchasing things or controlling the way we think, okay, I guess I can see that. But if it's not about that, then what's the reason behind it?
The reason behind it, I think, and as I went further with the stuff that I do in the military, the reasoning behind it, and when I actually got into a country and had a packet laid down in front of me,
Right.
it's every single last bit of information about the people in that country and the surrounding regions that that country may touch.
Mm-hmm.
It's every last bit of information that you could possibly have about those people, down to like there was a popular statistic floating around about Afghanistan where, and I don't know if this one's true, it sounds true to me, that there were more televisions in Afghanistan than there were flushable toilets, backed up by information.
That's very interesting.
Backed up by statistics. And I sit there, and it never had occurred to me until I got involved with the stuff that I'm involved with now, that where did the fuck did they get this information? Why do they have it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm now knowing, I know exactly why they have it. They have it to be able to reach people with information.
Right.
I bet you they know exactly what type of televisions they are. I bet you they know how many radios are floating around in the country.
Right.
You know, you have this information, and I know the reason they have it is because the one time that we had a group of people that we didn't have a lot of information on, panic. Because now you're spending time, instead of putting out your advertising, we'll call it, for people to consume the product, now instead of having time spent on putting out the messaging, now you have to do research. And you can't just do research on the internet because there is none.
Right.
You have to go send somebody out.
Yeah, you need other forms of ways to conduct research.
You know,
It makes sense.
And this is stuff I think they learned. I think World War II did a lot of good for us. Obviously made us the superpower of the world. But post-World War II, all those companies that made billions of dollars off war, and I'm not just talking about like the big guys, right? Ford made money off the war. John Deere made money off the war.
A lot of flourishing industries right now and companies made a whole lot of money during the war.
Lots of money off the war.
Right.
There were no defense contractors back then.
Right.
It was all just, hey, we need you to do this. And they went and they remilled the factories. But the problem was, when you make billions of dollars off of something, why go back to making millions of dollars off of something?
Yeah.
And I think the advertisement machine that was previously not present, I think the advent of stuff like television, the stuff, social media then eventually when it caught on, computers, the internet, I think the advent of those things was truly brought about to crank up advertising, to be able to make sure that the billions you made during the war, these people may not know that they want the product. These people don't want the product.
Right.
And if you go watch, Mad Men?
Yeah, man.
The people, it's not that the people don't want the product. They don't know they want it yet.
Yes. So we have to convey a message out there to have them believe that they need said product.
Yes, absolutely. I think so.
So to reel it back in, then it's all based on good old capitalism at the end of the day.
Yes. And not to say capitalism's a bad thing. Love it.
Right.
But you need, and when I was in school, we talked about Teddy Roosevelt a lot. And for some reason, I couldn't understand. My teachers didn't like Teddy Roosevelt. And I was like, well, why don't you like him? Well,
that's interesting.
He was a Republican.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, but he was conservationist.
Right.
You know, he built all the National Park Service, and then he broke up the monopolies. Right. And I had a teacher, so well, but he was a Republican, and when you're grown up, you'll understand better. Well, I grew up. I'm sitting there and I'm reading stuff about Teddy Roosevelt, and I'm like, shit, if only we had somebody to break up the monopolies right now, we wouldn't be so fucked.
Teddy Roosevelt was one of the better presidents we had in this country. A lot of people would like vouch for him.
I vouch for him. Bring him back. Unfreeze Teddy Roosevelt.
And FDR as well. He was also looked at as one of the better presidents that we've ever had. But who knows? We need to talk to Gen Z and see what they have to say if they believe.
6'7", hot chip. This right there, that'll already get the algorithm going. And so then the other thing that I love is watching these, whoever they get their marching orders from, they're really, really funny. And somebody on I think it was the Tonight Show outlined it, was they're talking, he was like, everybody's talking about protein right now, but why? And he shows clip after clip after clip, and it's almost like it's scripted, all these different.
Right.
And in China, they have these giant mills where they have people in cubicles 24/7. Making content.
Right.
And it's terrifying. And, I watch them and they'll be like, did you know that Diddy used to have, 372 bottles of oil in every single room in his mansion?
Don't forget they were laced.
Yes. Yes. Laced with, laced with horny drugs or drugs to, make your dick hard or whatever. And it's like, yeah, some people did know. Thank you for catching up with the Diddy doc came out, and people are like, oh my gosh, this guy named Diddy killed another guy named Tupac Shakur. And you're like, yes, Gen Z, welcome to, like, Gen Alpha too, like, welcome to... These are conspiracies that have been thrown around for the past 20 years. Welcome to the party, pal.
Since the 90s.
Like, he killed Biggie. I have to go look up who the fuck Biggie Smalls is, like, this old guy named 50 Cent. Excuse me. He 50, not 50. Put some respect on that's Curtis, all right? Put some respect Jackson. On his name. Okay.
I think they know. They're more familiar with 50 Cent than anyone, to be honest.
Hang on. Have you seen the video? He did a thing where they found all these either divorced single moms, and I think there were like two moms in there that were still married.
Right.
And he had the mom comes in with the kid, and she's like, hey, I got to tell you, I met somebody online. His name's Curtis, and he's actually here, and he's going to meet you. And then Fitty comes out of the back wearing a white frilly bathrobe.
Right.
And he's like, hey, what's up? What's up? How you doing? And like fucking 9 out of these 10 kids didn't know who the fuck 50 Cent was.
So I think they probably don't know how he looks. But the thing about Fifth is that he's always trolling. He's always in social media making fun of somebody or something. So I figured they would be in the know. But I guess, who knows? These kids, man, they're playing Roblox or some shit. I don't know what the fuck.
That's what I said. I was like, this is your guy. He even sits down. And one kid goes, yeah, you look real familiar to me. And he's like, yeah, I bet. He's like, where do you think I know you from? Where do you think you know me from? He goes, do you like in movies or something? He's like, yeah, I'm in a couple movies.
Exactly.
He's like, I sing. And then he starts singing. He starts singing one of his songs, and he goes, nah, that ain't you. 50 Cent sing that song. And he goes, yeah,
that's who I am, man. That's what I'm telling you. They don't know. They don't know how the people look. They just know who they are, like by paper, I guess, or reading on socials. That's it. Because to me, I would know who all these people are. You know who they probably would know? Snoop. There's no way these kids wouldn't know who Snoop is, because he's everywhere. Like, Snoop is everywhere.
I'll tell you, I might not know, like when GTA 5 did, was that Jay-Z that they did? They put Jay-Z in the game?
Was he in the game? I don't recall.
They put him in for online, and it was literally, he was just playing himself, and you had to do, it was just Jay-Z. I think it was just Jay-Z. No.
On GTA 5? I don't know.
Was Jay-Z or Dre? I can't remember. But either way, either one of those two rappers, I would not know what they fucking look like.
So I know how they look.
And when they put him in a game, I was like, yo, when are we gonna get this? Oh shit, he right there. This is the guy. I was like, yo, why this gardener coming up and trying to talk to me on the golf course? Oh shit, it's him. You know
what they need to do? Just put 50 on Fortnite. Then the kids would know.
Fuck no.
Because they got everybody else on that shit. They got Snoop on there, so hey, why not?
So this goes to a larger question, and everything, as Rod would say, one of my Joes would say, it's a circle. It all connects.
Yeah, everything connects.
So, what was that fucking movie? It's a famous movie, 90s with I think it's like Public Enemy.
Okay.
And he's in there, and the kid's got I think he's got the two-toned, like 90 or 91 GT Fox body, and it's a piece of shit. It's beat to crap.
Right.
And there's a kid who comes up in the same two-toned, like 90, 91 Fox body, but his is lowered. His has gold fucking rims. These obnoxious gold fucking rims. And every once in a while, I will run into somebody at a meet who's got one that they have specifically modeled after the same fucking car. I think it was the turquoise top with the gray skirts. And he pulls him out of the car, and he fucking beats the fuck out of him, puts a gun to his head, and he's like, "We're gonna make a trade." He takes his car. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, from that movie, Ford got a lot of sales off the Fox body.
Of course.
50 Cent goes out and buys a fucking Bentley and gold plates it.
Right.
Like, he's got crazy car. And I have his top most notable car list here is...
I wonder how much that Bentley costs now that it's gold plated. My goodness.
Hang on. It says how much the Bugatti Chiron costs. It doesn't say no. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not a Bentley. It's a Rolls Royce. He has a Rolls. I thought he had. This one says it's a Rolls. Oh no, he does have a Bentley. He has a Bentley Mulsannes, but the Rolls Royce is gold plated.
Got it.
I thought I had a picture here of the gold-plated Rolls Royce. This is the 3.2 million Bugatti Chiron. He has a 1.55 million one-of-one White Lightning jet car. I remember the show. Let's see if we can get a quick picture of it. That is the car.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember it being electric powered. I remember they put the car was all made of like fiberglass and carbon fiber. The car weighed like 1,200 pounds, and the car was so small that they couldn't figure out an engine to put in it. So they put like a Suzuki crotch rocket engine in there. And the engine only made like 200 horse or something. They put twin turbos on it and tried to get it up a little bit higher. But the car itself was so light that the weight to power ratio, the car just flew. And he spent like a ton of money on it just to go to some show and to flash. And I was like, to your point about the social media influencers, it used to be back in the day, kids would look at somebody like Fiddy and be like, yo, that's how I know I've made it, is I need to have that money.
Right.
To get the Bugatti Chiron or you're never buying a Bugatti Chiron, my guy.
Yeah.
You might be able to wrap a older Rolls Royce or older I can't even say that with straight face. You're not getting a Bentley. You might be able to get that Mercedes and wrap it gold. But you see so many of these kids, they're like cosplaying, and it's to the point where they go and they rent these cars.
Yep.
And then they sit there and they're like, yo, if you ain't rocking 1,000 horsepower, get the... And it's all the same Timothy Chalamet looking skinny ass motherfuckers. It's like...
I just seen something with him. See?
With him?
Yeah, yesterday. See?
He's everywhere.
But look.
He's the industry plant.
But what made you say his name? See, because I watched something. It was a comedy thing or whatnot. But I literally just seen it yesterday. And you just said his name. This goes back to what I'm saying. Well, you could have went with anybody. You literally could have said anybody.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue. Sorry, I just wanted to bring that up.
No. It's the point, and I think maybe, perhaps, and I don't know which is the worst. Are they reading our minds, or are they programming our minds?
Could be. It could be both.
Because perhaps you know the other day the thing that you were looking at, was it the quote from the movie, or was there
Yes, it was the quote.
It was the quote from the movie.
Correct.
Perhaps you had seen stuff that reminded you of the quote from the movie,
right.
Or perhaps without realizing it, you scrolled past a reel where you heard it, or you heard scenes from the movie.
So the movie was Catch Me If You Can.
So we talk about Catch Me If You Can all the time. And we have people at work who remind us of Catch Me If You Can.
Correct. So why didn't the quote come up then?
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But it is what it is. I mean, just things I noticed. I'm going to keep noticing them because, like I said prior, I try to be in tune to these things. I try to make sure that I understand.
Your third eye is open now.
It's open.
It's open. It can't be closed.
Yes.
And the larger point about the culture there is like these kids. On the previous episode I was just talking about, I got into an argument with a 16-year-old. It had to be a 16-year-old online who wants to be a professional photographer. I know where you live, kid.
Oh no!
I know where you live. He's up in Orlando because he put down he's up in Orlando, and by the way, buy a better camera. Your camera is shit. And there was he had videotaped this SS was attempting to do a rolling burnout, and people in the comment section were just like, I can smell the clutch from here. That like, dude, lift off the clutch. And it was horrible because you can hear the engine just going, but the wheels aren't going. And the car's like slowly, not even slowly, the car's like lurching forward.
Right.
And it's like he's still on the clutch way too hard. Like,
sure.
Just dump the clutch. So I go in there and I go, where's the burnout in this video? And he goes to my page, sees that I have an EcoBoost for my daily. Mind you, I'm not even going to say, whoa, it's just my daily. I love that car. Fuck you. I don't care. Very, very proudly love that car. There's a lot of history with inline four turbos in the Mustang, with Ford, with lots of other cars that they do. Get cultured, learn about it, suck it. I don't give a fuck. I love that car. You're not going to convince me, oh, you wasted money on it. You need a V8. And so I go in there and I go, okay, so you take a lot of pictures of other people's cars. What do you drive? He drives a 1LT Camaro. And he's like, if you're not rocking 1,000 horsepower. Brother, you're not rocking 1,000 horsepower. Mind you, I used to run with guys who were doing close to 4 digits, naturally aspirated, who had poured more money into a Mustang than you would spend on a fucking Ferrari. So you sit like these kids who go out and rent the Lucid Air or whatever the fuck that car is.
Yeah, Lucid Air. Yeah, the electric.
It's electric?
Yeah, it's an electric vehicle by the Saudis. The Saudis heavily invested in it. The I don't know what he was, but he used to work for Tesla, and then he went and started Lucid, and then now Lucid is, although it's here in the States, Saudis, they're highly invested in Lucid. But yeah, it's EV.
So I wonder about that because this, and I've been thinking about it, and I've been trying, and I know in the past couple episodes I've been ranting about the culture. We had young musicians and movie stars, young rappers, young rock stars, young people in the Hollywood media sphere.
Right.
Flaunting money, flaunting cars for a long time.
Yep, mansions, jet skis, yachts, right.
But the car community did not have the issue that it has right now with the stunting the way they have now.
So social media, right? It made it amplified that, right? Because now you can go rent a supercar, claim it as your own, do all types of BS, right? And take pictures and videos, post it online, and then that's all the people see. They don't see you going to rent the car. They don't see you returning the car. They don't see none of that shit. They just see you living this lavish lifestyle that you're posting on the internet. So yeah, if we probably had the same thing back then, we'd probably be the same way, unfortunately. Because this whole shit is all about looking the part, not actually, like back then you actually had the kingpins and the drug, all them, the mob, everybody, the mob, they actually owned every fucking thing they had.
Yeah.
Right? Nowadays, it's so much pretenders, like they're pretending.
But I wonder, because you bring up Saudi Arabia, and I just had like this.
Well, those motherfuckers got it, but continue.
This revelation that it is extremely important. It's extremely important in Saudi Arabia. If you're the crown prince and you're not Lil Wayne has that story where he got off the plane and there was some kind of fucking issue with the amount of money he was wearing on his jewelry or some shit, and there was some kind of issue. And they were going to stop him from getting off the plane. And the crown prince of Saudi Arabia was like, oh, my apologies. Which you like, Lamborghini or Ferrari? And he goes, I guess I like Lamborghini. And he goes, what color? Any color. And Lil Wayne just like, this is so weird. This guy's asking me about cars and what color I like. And then the crown prince is like, okay, next week by Friday, it will be in your driveway. And Lil Wayne was like, yeah, man, this guy's funny. All right. Goes home a week later. He's back in the States.
And the Lambo's right there.
Fucking delivery for him. and I wonder if, because the Saudis just bought EA.
Oh really?
They did. The Saudis just bought EA, and we always talk about China. China's controlling everything. Russia's controlling everything. Iran's controlling everything. Iran doesn't have the social media infrastructure or the money.
Right.
Unless they get help from their allies, China and Russia. But nobody ever thinks about what the Saudis are doing. And I wonder.
So they're sitting in the background, right? Because they have so much money, right? Because you're right. They just purchased EA Sports. They seem to have a big push on sports in general. Like they have huge soccer leagues out there. They're trying to get a lot of the famous or popular or good basketball players to go over there. There's so many different things. And it's like, what they have in stores? What's the plan? You know, are they trying to like rule the entertainment world and just have it there and get the money off of that? They don't care about the money. They're getting all the money off of the oil. So it's like, what's the end game here?
Somebody asked me the other day about Venezuela. Somebody said something about like, we were out to lunch and I met somebody who talks more than I do. and it was funny because the Prophet Allah, he was there. The Prophet Allah, peace be unto him. I'm gonna get a fatwa put against me now for saying that. He was just sitting there, and Alon was very quiet. And I was like, I realized that at one point it was the table was just listening to this guy and listening to me like give a 2-word answer to this guy.
Right.
And I was like, and he goes, well, Venezuela is all, that's all just psyop, right? And I started to think about it, and I went, and I started to ask him questions, and I was like, you know what? This guy, he's just saying stuff. I don't know. I honestly don't know why do you have any idea why we're going after Venezuela now?
So it's interesting you mentioned Venezuela because we were just talking about the Saudis, right? And as we know, they have oil.
They got that black stuff in the ground.
But guess who has the most black stuff in the ground? And guess who gives it to China and Russia for a low price?
Venezuela.
Yes. That's probably why we're interested in Venezuela, because of the oil. Simple as that. Also, if Venezuela starts going heavy on distributing the oil, it'll be cheaper, right? Because now the Saudis, they're making all this money, and they're like, hold up, we've been a monopoly out here in the Middle East.
Yeah, so I hadn't. So I will say I put the blinders on probably to that where I was sitting there and I was listening to, well, it's because of the drugs. Because the main thing that I sit there and I think and I go, it's because of the drugs, brother. A couple of boats, and I don't deny it. I don't not think that they are, that they're jumping up into the islands. They've probably got refueling areas there, and then they jump up into Florida. So I'm all for it. Take the drug boats out. And for the people who sit there and go, those are just fishermen, you can't know. Yeah, let me tell you something. From 20,000 feet, with the right optic, the right sensor, I know exactly what they've got. And I used to be able at no, I don't think I used to get up to 10,000 because then shit starts to get blurry. But from like 8,000 feet in the air, from 8,000 feet in the air with our less good sensor,
right,
I could tell you like what people were holding in their hands. I could kind of make out license plates. From 8,000 feet in the air with our better sensor, I could read all the way down to like the registration number on your or you know, it says registration like the expiration date. I could read that from 8,000 feet in the air. So I could maybe those are bags of rice that they're digging out of a hole in a field. Let me get lower. Nope, that's HME. They're making bombs.
So the thing is, they can say it's for the drugs, but to be honest, what drug, right? Because the main drug or issue that President Trump has right now is fentanyl, right? And that's coming from China to Mexico.
Yes.
And then
that's what I said.
Yeah, and then it's being trafficked into the States. So Venezuela we don't care, like the type of drugs they probably are pushing isn't the drugs that we really care about. It's the same shit. Like everyone knows cocaine and fucking heroin and all that shit. Same shit. It's obviously bigger than the drugs. There's so many fucking countries that's pushing drugs, and Venezuela is being targeted right now. Think about that.
You have that giant porous border.
Yeah.
And you're not going to war with Mexico.
Right, exactly. You ain't fucking with Mexico, you know? I mean, so it's the oil. It's just
that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's the oil. That black gold, makes a man.
Lot more sense.
The fucking black gold.
I think I don't want to say it's always been about the oil. And that's also what I kind of don't get is that China and Russia and Iran, well, I don't know so much about Iran. They have a lot of their own oil reserves. I don't know why we're going and running and buying oil from other countries when, like,
we have our own.
We got it.
Right.
We got it in Texas and we got it in Alaska.
I think we're playing the long game. We're just playing the long game.
I used to think that too. When everybody else is out, we'll still have it. We'll be number one.
Yeah.
Which I'm down for that.
I mean, I'm cool with the long game. You know, I'm no issues at all. But then, what would be the next technology, right? Because we see the EVs are getting very popular right now. A lot of people are getting into EVs.
Oh, the lithium.
And yeah. But do we have enough to give?
No.
Lithium or whatever? I don't know. So we might have to continue having oil-based vehicles, you know, combustion engines, if you will.
Because I was just fucking with setting my solar panels on my roof and the stupid battery that we have. And I will tell you, the battery ran at night 20%. It ran fully. I think I set it at like 12 o'clock, and this thing ran and powered the house till around 3 or 4 a.m. until the air conditioning kicked back on, and the ice maker kicks on at night. And it only lasted about 30 minutes after that because it was very low on power. But it makes me wonder, like, how many charges is that? Because we know batteries only have so many charges.
Yeah.
Even the good lithium ones.
Right.
They only last so long. And,
it's true.
And especially in your car, you went from that tiny battery is just doing the essentials, and the engine is, the engine's running a lot. All the electronics basically coming from your engine.
Yeah.
But now you've transferred the heater the air conditioning,
Basically
all your
everything.
fans.
Everything is powered by that
and now
one
the
battery.
drivetrain.
Yeah.
All that is off of these massive
Lithium.
2,000-pound lithium batteries. 3,000-pound lithium batteries. Which, by the way, if you get them wet with salt water, you're dead.
Oh, you're fucked. So the thing is, I wonder what's the life expectancy on those, because I've never really looked into it because I've never owned one. But it's very interesting, right? Because we know lithium, it doesn't last forever. And eventually, like, it swells up a little bit too, right?
Yeah.
So when is it time for these folks to change the battery? And also, how much does the shit cost? I'm pretty sure it's expensive as shit.
It costs more than the car.
Right.
It costs more. It's cheaper to just buy a new car.
Right.
And I think that that's not a bug. I think that's a feature. I think that's by design, is that they are setting up they're making, if people thought back in the 80s, wow, we're in a disposable society where everything is consumer based, we must purchase, throw away, and purchase again. If they thought that back in the 80s, if they had a glimpse into the future where they went, you're buying new cars every 5 to 10 years because why?
Right.
Because the system that powers it, back then if they went there and they said the engine's going to fail after 5 years on me, because that's the thing, is there's already people have reported Teslas and some of the even Teslas, which is supposed to be the creme de la creme of battery technology,
EVs.
They've already reported with some GMs and with some Fords as well, I'm sorry to say, the battery's failing. They the battery only holds like a 30-minute charge, and they bring them into the dealership and they go, oh, well, your battery cell's gone. It's completely...
So what happens? Is that insured? Like, how does that work for those
you're
folks?
Fucked.
Oh, my
You're just
goodness.
shit out of luck. Something happens with one of these cars, and I was talking to the wife about it the other day. But I was talking to the wife the other day about it, and I was like, if I have a problem and I blow this engine, because when I was working on the car, she was like, are you going to do anything to damage the car? And I was like, if I fuck it up and do it wrong, potentially. And that was the other reason that I'd put a blow-off valve in there. It was just in case the car didn't like the new turbo, because I had to drive the car some distance to get it to the tuner.
Right.
Just in case the car didn't like the turbo, and one of the issues that previously the EcoBoost had was boost surge, and it just the sending unit that allows it to send boost into the car just goes oops and just sends 30 fucking or 20 fucking psi all at once. Car can't handle it. Rod goes to God. Block cracks. Done. Back in the day, it was $3,500 for a brand new crate, $6,000 for a fully forged bottom and top end. Now it's gone up a little bit for a fully forged one, and obviously, the top of the line engines now are a lot better.
Right.
But you're looking at like 8 to 9, maybe 10 grand for one of those engines, 6 for the baseline engine in the car, and that's everything that you need. I don't need a new wire harness unless something gets fried. I could pull the pumps off. I could pull the, any of the other stuff that's AC, power steering, all that shit. I could pull all that off, and use it on the next one. Or a lot of that stuff comes with when you say crate engine, it's fully ready to go out of the box.
Right.
$6,000 is like my worst case scenario.
Which isn't bad at all, right? And it's still less value than the car itself.
Oh, yeah. Because I bought that car at like 26, 27.
Right. So, I don't know. Maybe down the line, these batteries get cheaper. I doubt it, because it's one of those resources that's not truly available, right? I'm not going to say truly available. I just feel like it's not, I don't even know the word to say for that, because I don't want to talk down on the technology, right? But at the same time, if it's something that's not there for us to get all the time, we got to figure something else out. Either stick with what we have with the gas or find a better technology that's a little bit more cheaper.
I think Alan's talked about it.
There's a lot of good breakfast spots here.
We need to. The wife really likes good breakfast spots. We've been to some of the crepe places,
Right.
but we need to. I need to go explore more breakfast places. She likes a nice sitting and having some coffee when she's able to have coffee again, and then of course we'll have a screaming baby with us. So, it's got to be somewhere where I can take him outside so he doesn't shatter the glass inside. But to that point, that's the thing with like saying bye-bye to the EPA. The restrictions in this country have been regulated by the EPA off of zero grounds. If our main concern was polluting the environment and having better fuel economy, why would you restrict vehicles from Europe and Japan that have great fuel economy?
Right.
When they said, well, trucks need to have fuel economy proportionate to their size, the auto manufacturers took that and said, we'll just make the trucks fucking bigger.
Bigger.
And that's why we have these massive trucks on the road that Japan and Europe don't have. I mean, Europe's not big on pickup trucks to begin with, but Japan has, the Japanese market has tons of pickups.
Yeah, a good amount.
And, you look at those, the Kai, whatever, K trucks, I call them Key. Mm-hmm. Those are going to be allowed here now, presumably by, and Trump specifically talked about those. He specifically talked about bringing trucks like the Hilux here. I will tell you, the piece of shit Hilux that I used to drive in Iraq, we used to drive it every single day.
Right.
She used to make multiple trips around every single day.
Durable.
I only had to fill up that truck like every 2 weeks or like every month. It was and it was sucking in sand and everything. There's no way it was getting good fuel economy.
But it still was driving.
But it was.
Was it smooth?
Yeah, it was smooth.
Wow.
It was a smooth truck, smooth transmission. Minus the rocks and all the sand that we were driving over. But it just makes you wonder if the goal was about the environment, air quotes, or the goal was we need to be more efficient with our fuel economy. Why would you completely segment off that part of the industry?
Right.
That would not only give us the availability of cars that have 50, 60 miles per gallon on a good, innovative combustion engine, not
Right.
not hydrogen, not diesel. Although there's some out there that are off diesel that are like high MPG. Why would you restrict like that? There's no reason other than it's not about the fuel economy. It's not about the environment. It's about money. And as Rod said, it's all a circle. Mm. And with that, so I just have one more question for you. If you have 50 cent money, what are you rolling up to? You're rolling up to the premiere of your Netflix documentary about your arch nemesis who has lots of baby oil. You are now 50 Cent.
You keep forgetting that it's laced.
Well, yes. Okay, can't stress this enough. Because people are like, what? So what? He liked to have freak-off parties. Everybody likes a little baby oil with drugs in it. I can't stress that enough. With drugs in it.
Correct.
If you haven't heard, Michael Knoll, so in addition to them having the escort on the Diddy doc, Michael Knowles had on the escort, but we could just call him what he is. He's a prostitute. The male prostitute that Diddy used to use, and he talked about like all the weird shit.
Right.
Like obviously he'd sold his soul to like the devil or something. The guy needs.
There's a few weird things that Diddy did. Did he do it?
But Diddy did it. Oh, it's so good. He done gotta quit it. Anyways.
Yeah, man.
Are you driving the gold Bentley? Are you having a jet car built for you? Or are you rocking the shitbox Fox body? I put that in there because I know what I'm doing.
So these are my choices?
No. It could be anything, but those
anything.
Are your examples.
I wouldn't get a Bentley at all or a Rolls Royce for that matters. I'd probably get an NSX, man. An Acura
you can
NSX.
go back to the roots.
Yeah, man. First car was an Acura, so I'll get it.
Back to the roots.
Get it.
I like that.
An NSX,
A
man.
new NSX or the one from your childhood?
Yeah. Back when we
Yes.
were younger, that
Yes.
one, not the new. The new one. I mean, I can't even say because I never really cared for it. But the nostalgic feeling of a old school NSX. What color would I go with? Probably
Black.
Should I go all black? I was
Right?
thinking.
We know the rule.
Yeah. All black everything. Black
all
that shit
black.
out. Smoke it out.
Black windows.
We're
Black
smoking
rims,
it out.
Black everything.
That's-
And supercharger.
Yeah. Well, I supercharged the NSX. I don't know.
Well, no, it's already.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would not supercharge.
So I guess it's already technically forced induction. Second turbocharger, larger turbocharger, bigger snails.
That was a good car, man. I'm surprised that they never truly stuck with just continuing that, that line.
I don't know. I think Honda went in and out of the racing scene. And
Yeah.
probably the bottom line wasn't. So there were time periods where, and a lot of companies did this. Once Ford got into racing, they, for the most part, if they got out of racing, they still kept the Mustang. And it was because they had built the fan base. But Honda's thing is not racing. Honda's thing is reliability.
Correct.
You think of Honda, your
Think of
grandma's driving a
reliability.
Honda.
Yeah.
Your wife is driving the Honda CRV to take the kids to school.
Yeah, there's people who haven't changed their oil.
Yeah, there's people who haven't changed their spark plugs in 100,000 miles.
This guy.
And I went and looked it up, and they were like, well, Iridium spark plugs.
Yeah, it lasts us for 100K, man. It's iridium. That's what I was
not
trying
what
to
it
tell
says.
you.
That's
What did
not
it
what
say?
it says.
All right, so what did you? I can Google it
It
right now.
says 60 to 100,000. And you're one of those people that sits there and goes, oh, 100,000? That means I can push it to 100,000. Listen. Just because you can, like when the police officer pulls you over and he says, you know how fast you were going? And you go, well,
I could have went faster.
it was just, I could have gone faster. That's not what you should
Yeah.
be. That's not the takeaway, like it's 60 to 100,000.
So look, I changed it at 95.
95? The odometer's at 95,000. And he tells me over the phone, and I'm like,
Yeah, I just could hear the disappointment.
It wasn't it was not disappointment. I promise you it wasn't disappointment. It was fear.
Yeah.
It was fear. And we pulled those plugs off, and I went. So the two things that I learned from pulling those plugs off and looking at these fucking things was, number one, 95,000 miles in your car driving the way you do looks like about 10,000 to 20,000 miles in my car driving the way I do.
See?
Which told me that I need to slow down a lot.
See?
Because my plugs are dirty as shit after, we go up to the mountains and I go, time to change the plugs. These bitches need to come off now.
Yo, on a Patreon, we need to have a debate.
About?
Inlines versus V's.
On the Patreon, I will set that up. I will set up the Patreon debate, inlines versus V's.
Because when we were taking out those spark plugs,
Oh!
it was a bitch.
Oh!
Especially the ones in the back. I mean, the front, sure. Perfect.
To work on, the answer is always inline.
Inline, yes.
Because you can put them sideways. Whoever decided to put a V-shaped engine horizontal instead of, perpendicular instead of parallel, this is why mechanics hate engineers.
Yes.
And we'll just leave it at that. That is
but
the worst.
Yeah, but we know why. I mean, the V, right? It's more compact, so it allows them to stick it in pretty much anything, as opposed to the inline where it's a little bit more wider, right?
Yeah,
so it's more of a bigger body that would have to take an inline.
So-
hold on, we're having a debate now. What the fuck?
Yeah, but yes, the answer is inlines, but the answer is also V's.
Right.
And the answer truly is it depends. And if you want to hear our true, you're gonna have to pay money. I'll do that for you. Oh yeah, I'll do it for money. I'm a capitalist. What does that mean? It means I don't believe in anything. So, except money. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on. Oh, humble plug. We're having our first merch.
Okay.
Is be careful or you'll end up in my podcast, The Power Horse Garage.
I like it.
The wife got this for me. It showed up and I opened it. It was a package to her and I committed a felony by opening up somebody else's mail. I was like, "What is this?" And she was like, "That was a gift for you that you just ruined a surprise off of." So, but anyways, thank you very much for coming on the show, Avon.
Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
This one is going to go. This episode's going to get a lot of schizo hits. I hope it gets clipped. I hope it gets clipped and it gets shared around and people are just like, they're talking about mind alien control devices from Mars.
Oh no, Stargate.
Yeah, okay. All right. Don't even get me started on the Stargates, okay? Yeah.
The portal.
The portals to other dimensions where they control your minds. That Diddy knows about because,
that he happens to have in the baby oil.
Yes. You go through the Stargate and you're in Diddy's mansion. You're in Diddy's sex dungeon.
Oh, my goodness.
With the baby oil that is laced. But yes, thank you again.
Always, man.
Fantastic.